Welcome back to the non-league soccer special with me, John Dixon. Now, give us a call on 0500 888 215. If you want to talk to our panel tonight, anything about non-league soccer is welcome. Call us on 0500 888 215 and talk to Jimmy Thompson and indeed to Geoff Pitcher from Kingstonian. Geoff, thank you very much indeed for being with us tonight. And Jim, thanks for staying.
You're welcome.
Despite the unpleasantness in the first half.
Indeed.
Jimmy, Kingstonian had a great opening season in the conference last year, and it really looks like they're building on it this year, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Things are in place down there to go forward. That's what I said right at the beginning of our season, and I think really they're putting a side together for promotion into the Football League.
Do you know anything about the standard of the ground and the way that stays at the moment with them getting into the Football League?
I know they've got planning permission for a new stand down at Kings Meadow. And I think things are in place to go forward. That's about all I can say at the moment, John.
Excellent. Well, Geoff, a great win on Saturday. Another goal for you. How did it feel to put one past the league leaders?
It felt good, obviously, to get on the score sheet, but the main thing was getting the 3 points. I mean, Stevenage are a top side in the conference, and we knew that if we want to mount a serious challenge to the title, we've got to beat the top sides.
How did you approach the game? How did the team approach the game beforehand?
Well, obviously, the lads were already reared up for it because being a top-table clash, we know we've got to perform to our best to beat the top side, so everyone was up for it.
Now, you're in the top of the table as well. How does that feel? Because you mentioned the top of the table clash, and you're there. That's why it is a top of the table clash.
Well, I think we could have done better last season, but obviously getting to Wembley and winning the cup there, it took a little bit of the edge off the end of the season, the games we had, and we ended up finishing 8th, I think. So, but at the time, I think we could have finished in the top 5. So we're looking to improve on that and finish hopefully as champions. If not, we've got to finish in the top 3.
Jimmy, the ambition is obviously enormous because Geoff just said, well, we didn't do terribly well by finishing 8th and winning a cup at Wembley.
Dreadful, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely appalling.
Yeah.
So the ambition is immense, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously things must be in place down at Kingstonian. Obviously they've built a very, very good side down there who can compete at the highest level, at conference level. So, you know, things are, again, all in place.
Excellent.
Just remains for the players to go out and do the business.
Excellent.
That's all.
Is that it?
That's it. Simple.
Is it a game of 2 halves?
No.
No. Geoff, how did you see the David Leeworthy incident?
I didn't really see the actual sending off. The ball went in the channel, and I see Dave was tussling with their centre half, and I just turned round as the ref come over to calm them down, and I've turned round to run back towards the goal, and I've heard the crowd erupt. I've turned round, and the ref pulled out his red card. But Dave said the ref said to him that he threw a punch, but knowing Dave as I do, I don't think he would have done that. But he said he said he's just trailed with his arm to try and push the defender away, and the ref said that he threw a punch.
Regardless of whether David's right or wrong, Jimmy, how important is it for players to avoid red cards, to avoid situations like that?
Well, it's a manager's nightmare, isn't it? You want all your best players on the field every week, you know, week in, week out. So David's one of the better players, or they're all good players, but he needs David Leeworthy out there. He doesn't want him to get red carded. No way. So I expect he had his ear all bent a little bit after the game.
Now, Leeworthy is the top scorer at the moment, so you really need him. I mean, I know Geoff's doing quite well, but still.
You know, Leeworthy is one of the star strikers down at Kingstonian. So you need him on the park. You don't want him on the bench or away from the game.
Now, with things going so well, Geoff, as they are, does the team have the belief that they can actually mount a title challenge?
I think so, yeah. I think we've got a lot of experienced players, a lot of players that have played in the Football League, so they know what they've got to do to win a league. I think they all believe this year that we've got a very good chance of, if not coming champions, finishing high up in the division.
You've played in the leagues yourself, haven't you? So do you manage to bring that experience through to the rest of the players?
I try and help some of the younger players when they come into the side. We had a young lad playing his first game on Saturday, junior. I think he's 18. He come in the side, done well. I tried to help him through the game, but I was trying to concentrate on my own game more than anything else.
Jimmy, what sort of an achievement would it be for the team and the manager to grab league football status?
Well, it's just unbelievable. You know, Geoff Chappell himself is unbelievable. I mean, he's a legend already, the guy. I mean, what he's done down at Woking. And he's just brought that experience, that wealth of experience from his Woking days, and just transferred all his knowledge and wealth of experience to Kingstonians and just carried on the same track.
Well, Geoff, the other Geoff is a legend, as Jimmy said.
Well, he is.
How highly does the team respect him?
Obviously, I think every player that knows Geoff has got to respect him because of what he's done so far. The players there all listen to what he says because they know he's been there and done it before, so they've got to take notice of him, really.
Do you think that if it had been somebody else in charge, it wouldn't have worked, the magic wouldn't have happened?
I couldn't comment on that because I wouldn't know who they would else they get in. I mean, for me, he's the top manager in non-league. He has no bigger name than Geoff Chappell in non-league, so I couldn't comment on what other managers could do because what he's done at Woking was unbelievable, and what he's done down Kingstonians has been unbelievable as well. So it must be a bit of a magic about it in some way.
Now, Jimmy, we've spoken to Geoff Chappell on Cable 17 a lot, and one of the questions we ask him is why does he think he hasn't been picked up by a league team? Do you think that if he did manage to push Kingstonian into the Football League, then eyes would start turning to him for replacements for higher clubs?
For some reason, well, I'm a qualified coach. If you haven't played league football, you won't get a job in league football. Probably something to do with the Geoff Chappell scenario is the same thing. He hasn't been in league football. They won't take the chance and plunge him in there as a league manager in league football.
What if he manages to take them up? Do you think things will change?
Well, you know, who knows? But I'm very, very surprised that someone hasn't taken Geoff Chappell further up the ladder.
Well, Geoff Pitcher, you've been K's Player of the Year for 2 years running. How does that make you feel?
Well, obviously, when the fans are saying that you're doing well, you're going to be happy because they pay their money to come and watch you play week in, week out. So what they have to say is very important.
Speaking of playing in, week out, you're away to Welling tomorrow. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, I think if we win tomorrow, we've got a chance of going top of the league, so it's going to be a very, very big game.
You get to top of the league, then do the nerves set in because there's nowhere else to go but down unless you stay there for the rest of the season?
Obviously, I think that once we get out there, we want to stay there as long as possible. I mean, we've got a lot of tough games coming up. So you never know. I mean, the chance is there for us to do it, so we've just got to take it, really.
Now, how do you view Sutton's performance since they came up?
I think they've struggled a little bit. I thought they would, when they got promoted last year, they got rid of a couple of their better players, and I thought the players they got in weren't as good as what they got rid of, so I thought they might struggle this year, and it's been proved so far, but hopefully they can start picking a few wins up.
Jimmy, a bit of a stutter for Sutton over the last few days.
Indeed it was at the weekend, you know. After losing to Welling last week, midweek, it was a very big disappointment, I feel, because they are down the lower echelons with Sutton. They will be looking for 3 points, a home game against Welling. You know, need 3 points. Going away to Southport, just picking up 1 point, so instead of getting 4 points, they finished up with just the 1 point from 6, so...
OK, well, let's go into the Ryman League, talk a little bit about those clubs.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.